3 months of work, tens of thousands of blocks, all for this. It is the most challenging build I've ever done in my hardcore Minecraft world. And today I'm going to show you how I built it from the ground up, so let's dive in. So we've laid this foundation on the previous video to know the shape and the size of this build and how big it's going to be. And then I knew this build would be anything but simple. I mean, look at this. If you've been following my journey so far, you know we've been preparing for this build for a while, gathering tons of resources, building a massive netherrack factory, and stocking up on tons and tons of blackstone and netherrack. But if you haven't, don't worry, you're about to witness the peak of months of work right here. So without further ado, let's start building. Alright, first let me give you a very quick explanation of what this insane build actually is. So this massive dragon monument that I've been working on for months now is a challenge given to me by ChatGPT. I wanted to challenge myself, so I asked ChatGPT to give me the most difficult and ambitious project it could think of. And that's how this build was born. A combination of fantasy and sci-fi that I've never tried before. And it's by far the most challenging project I've ever worked on in hardcore Minecraft. Actually, in Minecraft in general. So if you want to see more builds like this in the future, please subscribe and help us reach the 1000 subscriber. Now, I didn't just dive in without a plan. This project is so massive that I had to test it out first in creative mode. And honestly, I had no idea how to do some of the things. I had to use a mod called Axiom to preview and build the structure, after of course watching thousands of tutorials to figure out how to do that. And by the way, this mod is truly amazing. I really recommend watching some videos of some crazy builds some YouTubers did with this mod. By the way, I have a very important question to ask you regarding the future of this channel and the next videos, so please stick till the end because I really need your answers. Anyway, as I was saying, I used Axiom to build the dragon and another mod called Litematica to create the schematic of this entire build so I can follow the build layer by layer in my hardcore world. So the body of the dragon was a monster in itself. Shaping this took hours upon hours. And this wasn't just a statue, it had to feel alive, like it's ready to burst or break free from the ground. And look at this. The full body completed. Well, not everything is completed, we're still gonna need a lot of other things, some pikes coming out from the ground, the wings, the rest of the body, the neck and the head of course. And this back end of this creature here. But this actually took a lot of time. You would not imagine how long I've been sitting in front of the PC just placing blocks after blocks. And also, can you please comment what should we put inside this massive statue monument thing? I don't know, maybe we can do like a soaring system or something like that. But anyway, now let's work on all the rest of the things and take it from there. And also, I ran out of a lot of material, so all these chests are empty. We still need a lot of stones, a lot of cobblestones, a lot of deep slate cobblestone as well. So let's go for a little bit of mining session. Alright, so the mining session has ended, so I have a lot of stone actually, and my pickaxe is almost broken. So let's go. Oh, I hear. Oh, hello there. What are you doing here? I don't have an arrow. You know what? Let's just leave them. Anyway, so let's go back to put all those resources back there to the build and start building the monument. So I filled in not all the chests, but most of the chests, and I think this should be enough to continue the building and build all the spikes and the rest of the body. So let's not waste any of the time and let's go ahead and start building. And finally, I finished the spikes. They took longer than I thought they would, but they look really amazing. I mean, look at this. Let me just find an angle, and yeah, this. They added a lot to this build. They make it look more alive and more fantasy-looking build. I really like them, and you see, like, just the smallest details, even though these are large details, but any details you add to something, it make it look better, and of course the detail also should look good, but anyway, never mind. So we're gonna be placing the head there, the wing here, and the other wing there, of course, and of course the rest of the body, and throw all the details I need and all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and continue the building. Alright, so finally, I finished the entire body of this dragon. It took way longer than it should. I didn't think this would take this much, but I spent literally weeks just placing blocks on this back end of the dragon. This took a lot of time. Was it necessary? I don't know, but I actually do like it a lot. It makes the dragon, or like the building, like it's bursting and coming through the ground. And now I'm back to our Mines of Moria because I need a lot of deep slate cobblestone. I have some, but I don't have much, so let's go back here and mine for a lot of these resources and take them back to the build so we can continue building. And I grabbed 2 large chests. I think this should be enough for this build. The wings, this is where things got wild. I wanted them to feel and look very powerful, like they could lift this massive creature off the ground at any second. Also, I decided to use a mix of netherrack and blackstone and magma blocks to give it a fiery and volcanic look. And here where it gets crazy. I didn't just sit down and build this in one go. No, between working a full-time job and recording late at night, I barely found time to make progress. It's been a real grind, guys. I'm talking about staying up until 5 a.m., sometimes until 6 a.m., recording and editing the video, only to wake up, head to work, come back at night, and do it all over again. But I knew if I didn't push through, this project would never get done. So I kept going. To show some appreciations, please consider subscribing. Like the video, of course, if you like it. It's all free and will help a ton. So thank you so much if you did. And now we have a lot of other things to build. So let's not waste more time. Let's build the other wing. I'll do that very quickly so we can jump into the rest of the build. And wait for it. Ta-da! I finally finished both wings. This took a lot of time. For you, it was like, I don't know, 3 seconds or 4 seconds. I don't know how am I going to do the montage and the editing of that. But This took hours and days, actually, not just hours to complete. But I'm really happy with how the wings turned out. I mean, look at this. They look insanely, amazingly good. Of course, I got inspired by a pre-existing build that I downloaded from Planet Minecraft. I tweaked it a lot. I added those wings into the Axiom mod I was talking about earlier. Did a lot of editing so it will be like fitting this dragon, and then I placed them on that build there. Yeah, but finally, this looks really amazing, and I'm super stoked with how this turned out. So yeah. And now for the head. So every block here needs to be perfectly placed to capture the dragon's expression and the overall look. I'll be honest, this part was nerve-wracking. One simple mistake could throw off the entire design and it'll look, I don't know, creepy or ugly or something. So it had to be perfect. And there it is, finally completed. After months and months of work, literally it's been 3 months just working on this project. Staying up at night, late nights, and endless building sessions. It's finally done. Honestly, I never imagined taking on a project this massive, but here we are, and it's all thanks to you guys. Even though we're still a small community, barely at 1000 subscriber, your support has made all the difference, and I couldn't have done it without you, so I really appreciate every single one of you guys. Now, if you remember, I mentioned earlier that I had a very important question to ask, and here is the question. Should I start a building series in creative mode? So some of you have suggested this already in the comments, and after using Axiom, I've got so many ideas for future builds. But let's be honest, in hardcore or in survival, gathering all the resources takes so much time, and then I have to place them block by block, takes more time. Don't get me wrong, I'll absolutely keep this hardcore series going. I love the challenge, I really do. But imagine the kind of wild and creative builds we could pull off in creative mode. Instead of spending 3 months on a single build, we can do it in just 2 weeks and really push the limits of what's possible. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know in the comments below, should we start a creative series alongside the hardcore one, of course. Your feedback really matters and I need your help to decide, so go ahead to the comments and tell me what you think. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!